everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the Media Buff Podcast, the show about anything and everything media related. I'm your host, Ed, and with me, just two of the fellow co hosts, my wife, Jen. Say hello.
Hi.
And Master of Tangents, Matt.
Hi.
Omar and Lane couldn't join us today, but it's fine because I know I said we would do a music segment the third week of the month, but we're gonna go ahead and flip it this time around and just do a random discussion of some topics we have in mind. So, with that being said, Matt, why don't you go ahead and start it off by what you wanted to talk about today?
Okay. Well, first of all, I would like to apologize for the mix-up of schedule because I thought it was for like another week. Well, anyways, moving on. Um, I would like to talk about the death of Superman,
The comic book or the movie?
the comic book,
Yeah.
maybe the movie a little bit,
Well, I mean, they're kind of both the same.
kind of.
Yeah.
But reason, like, my question is for you, like, where were you guys when you first read it, and like, what went through your mind when that final moment happened?
Well, Jen's never read it and she's never seen the movie either. So,
Wow.
I'm just sitting in on this one.
me personally, I was in middle school when I first read the comic or graphic novel, I guess you can call it.
Yeah.
And honestly, it didn't really hit me that hard because I had already known he had died in multiple iterations. So by then, I was like, oh, he'll probably come back in the following episode, which did. But I remember I watched the documentary on that. And when they first, because this happened in the 70s and they killed Superman for the first time, the US was devastated. Like they all freaked out about it.
Well, yeah, it's a good way to get people. When I first read it, I think I was like a freshman in high school because I didn't read a whole lot of Superman. I mean, I liked him. I watched the Superman animated series, and I watched like uh, the old cartoons, like was
the Silver Age cartoons, yeah.
Yeah, the Silver Age cartoons.
Yeah, faster than a locomotive.
Yes,
yeah.
all those ones. And
no, faster than a speeding bullet, stronger than a locomotive.
So, like, obviously, I was like aware of who he was, and I read some like Justice League, but I primarily read I read a lot of X-Men and Spider-Man and Batman comic books back in my time. And this is like the first Superman comic I actually sat down and read because of the title it says on it, that that's a Superman. I was like, what is this? What do we have here? And it was shocking. Like, I thought it was like one of the most gripping stories that you could read from start to finish. And like to see the Man of Steel go out like that. Hey, like I thought, like the way they did it was really good. Like he didn't go out like a bitch.
Can you give us a quick synopsis for those that haven't?
Okay, so Doomsday is this creature that just came up out of the underground, but it's actually a Kryptonian that was made by an evil scientist, and he was put into a baby launcher, shot out into a very harsh environment, and each time it died, it came back stronger, and the last thing that killed him could no longer affect him. And they just kept doing this over and over again just to create the perfect specimen that could survive any type of environment. And then somehow Doomsday got locked away underground in Earth, like in Earth's crust, and he was just there in a suit and he was chained, and it kind of was like a very sophisticated straitjacket. Would you say that, Ed?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it's made for him.
Yeah. Like he like I don't know how they restrained him, but they did, and because he killed the doctor dude that created him and everyone else in the lab.
Okay.
And this was on a different planet. It was no longer Wait, was he made on Krypton? Yes, he was. When Krypton was like a prehistoric place,
Hmm.
and
Okay.
before Krypton became the Krypton that Superman is known to be from, where it's a
Mm, mm,
sophisticated
like city.
society. Yeah.
Sophisticated. Okay.
Well, the whole planet was like
Yes.
it's kind of like how we had our dinosaurs and things like that, and then
Well,
it
it's like
evolved.
how the start of like any planet, I guess you could
Yeah,
say.
and but like somehow he ended up on Earth, was there for millions of years, and then while
Just
some
locked
work,
away.
yeah, and then like
Mm,
while some
okay.
workers were digging, uh, like they like weakened the rocks or some shit like that
Hmm.
that he was underneath, and he jumped out, started destroying shit, and like the
So you're
Superman
telling
was
me they disrupted enough to the crust that they could?
yeah, like something like he got
Okay.
woken up. He got woken up,
Yes.
busts out, and then Superman is off doing something else. He's not on planet Earth at this moment. So like the Justice League needs to step up and stop him. They
Hmm.
can't, and he's still restrained. Like he like through most of this, he is still very well restrained. I think it's not until he fights Wonder Woman who like lasted the longest against him in
Hmm.
comparison to everyone else, where like the restraints and stuff started breaking off. Am I right, Ed, or am
No, you're right.
I okay?
Martian Manhunter, you would think would have lasted a little longer, but Doomsday set him on fire.
Yeah, his one weakness, common fire.
Yeah, and yeah, none of the leaguers were able to like really stand toe to toe with Doomsday. They were able to delay him, but that was pretty much
Yeah,
it.
I think GL aside from Wonder Woman last
Yeah,
like
he was able to hold him off for a decent amount. Their main
yeah,
goal was to keep him away from a city populace because that's
mm-hmm.
he was making his way to that, and they were doing everything they could. Like Diana did like try to slow him down a little bit, but he ultimately just like beat the crap out of her, and then
Yeah,
Martian went down. Batman couldn't really do anything about it, but he was trying to lay out tactical
yeah,
commands for everybody while they were trying to slow him down. And even though in the new movie Cyborg was there, he was not in the original comic.
no.
Yeah.
And then I believe when the Leaguers went down, it was up to like the Teen Titans to try and stop him too.
No,
Like,
I don't think that's mentioned in the comic.
hmm, I know there's like some other heroes that
No,
that
there's the
typically,
lesser heroes, it's like Stars
yeah,
and Stripe, Red
there you
Tornado.
go. Yeah,
But yeah, Doomsday decimated all of them, and he easily just made his way into Metropolis until Superman finally showed up and
yeah,
started, pummeling him. But it wasn't enough. Like
yeah. No, it
Doomsday beat
wasn't.
the crap out of him like religiously, so bad that even he got scared. And
But
Superman was one of the few characters that had never shown fear in the comic books.
Yeah, and also like during like the internal like thoughts of Superman, like you know how it
Mm.
shows up like on the page, like
Yeah,
where it's
his
like
inner monologue.
his inner monologue, whether it's through the thought bubbles or narration. The narration was so good because, like, Superman, like, at a moment in the fight, was like, you gotta realize, like, he's very conflicted because he was still holding back and doing everything he could to stop Doomsday while holding back because he was still concerned about the other people.
He was trying to keep collateral damage as slow
Yeah,
as possible, so he
but then
wasn't
he
really giving it his whole.
but then he kind of realized that he like and like for him to actually put Doomsday down and to like actually save people, maybe this is that one time where he needs to go fall out
Mm-hmm.
and fight because
mm,
what his tactics aren't just working, and he does. Like he finally gets over that, and but by this time he and Doomsday are pretty banged up,
Mm-hmm.
except for Doomsday's healing factor. It's crazy insane. Like his regenerative properties are, I don't know if they're better than Wolverine's or not, but they're pretty close, I would
okay.
say.
No, they're definitely better
But
because anytime you
Okay.
deal damage to him, not only does he regenerate, he somehow becomes more like more volatile. Like his skin, the spikes on his skin grow harder. His skin
Yeah.
itself gets harder as well. What were you gonna say, Jen?
But isn't his weakness the same as Superman?
Nope.
No,
Nope.
Huh?
Doomsday has no
Regardless to what
weakness.
Hollywood said, Doomsday has no weaknesses.
Yeah.
Like you have to beat him into submission,
What?
which is
Yes.
insanely difficult.
Or you have to find a new way to either kill
Kill
him,
him, yeah,
quote unquote, or to stop him. But
yeah,
once you do that thing to him, he becomes immune to it.
yeah.
Oh,
He's been
she can't beat him.
lobotomized.
He can't beat him the same way
He's
twice.
had his
No,
neck
you can't.
snapped. He's
Yeah.
been impaled. He's been blown up.
He's been
He's
dropped in
been
lava.
dropped in lava. He's been disintegrated. Yeah, he's been killed thousands of ways, like maybe hundreds of thousands of ways. But he keeps coming back because even if one cell of his survives, he comes back.
Yeah.
That's how
So,
that's how volatile he is.
but the way it ends is like, which was really shocking, and still being young, it did kind of it kind of ruined my day because I read this at like the beginning
Of
of
the
my
day.
day.
Mm,
Yeah, and I'm like, man, that sucks. Superman died,
Hmm.
yeah.
but like he and Doomsday just go like one final clash, and they pretty much put everything they have into the last punch, and they
Hmm.
kill each other.
Yeah. Well, Soup snaps his neck, and then Doomsday impales him with one of his spikes right through the heart.
No, it was just a punch that was so hard,
Hmm.
like it broke all the windows in the city and
Yeah.
everything.
Hmm.
Okay.
But like, yeah, Superman one point did during the fight did snap his neck, but
Hmm.
it didn't work.
Yeah. But
He even broke, like he even took like one of the
spikes.
spikes,
Hmm.
snapped it off Doomsday, and stabbed him with his own
Hmm.
spike.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because yeah, Superman's like, well, maybe his self can hurt himself type of deal. And
Yeah.
he's like,
He
let's
tried
test
it.
that theory. Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
let's test that theory. Yeah,
Well,
this is
nothing was
also
working because even his heat vision wasn't able to get through his skin.
Well, imagine that. Like, he's supposed to be very hard to take down. Well, I mean, talking about Superman. And he's throwing everything that he knows. And when
And it's
that's
not
not
working.
working, he's all like,
Yeah.
crap, what the heck do I do now?
Yeah, at one point, Soups takes him out to the stratosphere, trying to get him out into space, hoping the vacuum of space would kill him. But that didn't do it. And then they just like crash back to Earth like a meteor.
and also like when I read this is also like the first time I ever read something where like Superman got down and dirty in a
Hmm.
fight.
Yeah, he fought dirty a little bit because he realized that this guy, Doomsday, fought way dirtier than him because he was smacking him with stuff. He was using stuff and throwing at him. At
Using
one point,
people.
at one point,
Oh my
yeah, he
goodness.
used people as shields or he threw them at him, and Superman, saved them while still having Doomsday coming at him. Like, yeah, he definitely fought dirty, and Superman basically had to take the gloves off and say, like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to let go of my morals in this fight and just do what I have to do to stop you. And at one point,
Yeah.
you can even there's a scene I think where Bruce, I think he's talking to him through a comm link, and he's telling him like you're gonna have to kill him. Like I know how you feel about it, but you're gonna have to kill him.
Hmm.
And even Clark says like, yeah, I know, you're right. I'm gonna have to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the question is how? Because,
Well, that one, like they just beat themselves to death, basically.
oh my gosh.
yeah. Yeah, and then like it was I think for its time, like for people who are big into Superman and stuff, great shock value.
No, a
Like
massive shock, dude. I'm not. I'm telling you, like, if I'll send you the documentary because the world almost stopped the day of Superman. They had an actual funeral for him after that issue released, and there was almost
Interesting.
rioting in the street. I'm not even joking. Like, you can look it up, folks. There was almost rioting in the streets after the issue came out because fans were just so pissed about it. Because this was during a time where if a character in a comic book dies, guess what? That's it. There, we didn't have a lot of people, comic book characters dying and coming back. Like 90% of the time, if a comic book character died, he died and he was gone. And people
Yeah.
thought, okay, well, this is the end of
Is
all
that why
Superman
there's so
comics.
many flashes?
Yeah, and also, also why freaking, Optimus Prime keeps coming back.
But
But
that's
But
different because those are like robots, and you
yeah,
can fix them up,
yeah,
transfuse the or do something with it.
yeah.
Give them a new body.
Also, at the time, like I said, Superman was the strongest, no questions asked. There wasn't any debate of who can beat him, regardless of kryptonite or not.
Well,
And for
yeah,
this
but
guy to not only stand up to Clark, to Superman, but to hurt him was one of the first things ever seen in the comic books. Like
yeah,
even in the cartoons, you didn't see him get hurt. You didn't see him get tired or scared or anything. You saw all of that in this comic, in this graphic novel.
true. And this also and Doomsday came after Darkseid. I just want to point that out. Like
Yeah,
Darkseid
he
is a huge threat on his own.
yeah.
Like
Doomsday precedes Darkseid, not precedes that. Like he came after Darkseid. He appeared after Darkseid.
yeah, and like Darkseid has like everyone likes to like. I know Lex Luthor is like a huge rival and enemy to Superman, but
mhm.
like no one pisses Superman off more and forgets that he's a good guy from Kansas with morals more than Darkseid.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Like Darkseid just gets under Clark's skin at all
he likes to
times.
trigger him. Yeah,
Yeah, and like Darkseid is like one of the few people where Superman will he won't actively save him.
no,
B he
Yeah, I'm
may
not
not.
surprised there.
Yeah, he may not try it and like outright kill Darkseid, but he doesn't shy away from the fact that he thinks his life would be better without him
yeah.
and the
But
rest of the universe.
the difference between Darkseid and Doomsday, Clark has never thought about killing Darkseid. Like he knew he had to kill
For
Doomsday.
Doomsday.
sure.
Like he in his
True.
mind said like there's no way around this.
Mhm.
There's no reasoning, and Clark even says like there's no reasoning with this thing.
Mhm.
There's no way to submit it. You have to kill it. You have to put it down permanently. And Clark
Mhm.
agreed with him. And to hear Superman say these words, I'm gonna have to kill this thing. That was another shock right there. Like this comic
Because
Yeah.
he
book
doesn't go actively doing
not
it.
only shocked the populace, it showed a side of Superman that a lot of people thought they would never see. Like
Yeah.
they never thought they would hear him say, "I gotta kill this guy." They never thought he would look scared or be worried. They never seen that before. So for comic readers in the '70s to see this,
Mhm.
it just like their world came crumbling
It
down.
wriggling their brain.
Like the writers got death threats.
Jeez.
People's stores got like trashed up because I'm telling you, I'm showing. I'll send you guys the documentary. It got bad over the death of this man, and he's not
Yeah.
even real. He's fiction, though.
But
Is
also,
an alien more human than Batman?
Hey,
I,
Batman said that himself.
but I also like to point out, even though like Superman like accepted the fact that he had to kill Doomsday because it was like the only way he could save anybody,
Mm-hmm.
he still had remorse for Doomsday.
Well,
And
because he doesn't like
Yeah.
killing.
No.
Like,
no, it's not. It's not about that he about liking or disliking killing. It's more like he understood that this was a creature that was
Made
like
this way. Mm-hmm. And
made
that it
this
wasn't
way.
his fault. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't the creature's fault.
Oh,
However,
yeah,
like,
that for sure.
but like that's where it comes in different with
Yeah.
Darkseid. Like if given the opportunity, and if like Superman either had to kill Darkseid or if Darkseid would die, Superman would not care either way about
No,
it.
it wouldn't.
So
Yeah.
like yeah, there's like a lot to this story, and it was and yeah, it's just really well done.
Yeah.
I
One
think
of
it's
the
kind of
to this day,
hard.
it's one of the best comic book stories in the DC universe.
Also, I think it's kind of hard to like nowadays to have something that good,
Yeah.
like as far as storyline ideas.
Well, Injustice came pretty close.
Mhm.
Yes.
Injustice came pretty close, but it just didn't have that shock value that Doomsday, Death of Superman had.
Mhm.
But
Well,
Well, because it was a different time,
yeah,
man.
and like I said, it
true.
was the first time something like that
Yeah,
happened in a comic book.
Well,
The
was
only other time that readers were shocked like this were when they killed Jason Todd. And they weren't
uh
even shocked because they were the ones who voted on it. And they like got what they
yeah.
wanted. Because everybody hated his character, and then the writers actually made an issue and put a poll. Would you want Jason Todd to be killed? And almost 80% of the readers voted
but
yes.
I don't think they expected to die the way he
They
did.
didn't expect him to actually go through with it. And the way he died, yeah, that was bad too. But yeah, Doomsday Superman, Death of Superman is still to this day one of their best stories
But
in the DC
the
universe.
one with Jason Todd is more like they somehow got you to care about Jason Todd when you didn't even like him, which is really good in the writing part.
Yeah,
Well, when you do a lot of
this is why
Like,
DC Comics just have the better written
yeah,
stories. Like,
dude, I think one of the best stories that they have ever done is when Speedy was on heroin.
oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, do they track a lot of like series issues at the early DC Comics, like
Mm-hmm.
spousal abuse, drug addiction, alcohol abuse. Actually, no, that was
Yeah.
Marvel. Marvel did a good job with that one. Um,
No, because
gambling
if you
addiction. It was a
remember
gambling
Wade
addiction
Wilson.
one with what's his name? Plastic Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the DC Comics tackled a lot of good stuff
mhm.
early in the early days when they started getting a little more edgier and darker. But yeah, the Death of Superman is still their highest rated comic to this day, I think.
Yeah. My question though is like speaking of Injustice, was there a evil version of Superman before Injustice? I'm not 100% sure.
Well, keep in mind there's different universes, and there's Red Sun Superman, SON Sun, which is where
Yeah.
Superman fell in Russia, and they made him into a communist.
Well, just because
Jeez.
he's communist, it doesn't make him evil.
Well, he goes around killing people who don't want to convert to communism. So I don't know. That's pretty bad to me. And then there's also the Superman that it turns out that he was sent to take over Earth, and he was programmed to do so.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's different iterations where Superman is bad. Like there's always a universe where he's been bad.
Before Injustice, right?
Before Injustice, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
Injustice was just the one where you saw the good Superman go bad. And
Yeah.
he did it really well.
Yeah.
Well, there
But I
was a
mean,
good reason behind it.
Yeah, I don't blame
yeah,
him.
I mean, fucking the Joker kills
Yeah,
his unborn child and
and wife.
Lois.
Yeah, but yeah, good comic. If you haven't read it, folks, you can find it anywhere. You can find it online. Usually free to read. They have a couple of films about it. The latest one that was released does a good job at telling the original story, but adding some extra stuff, and cyborgs in it.
Yeah, that's the one where because I know there's like a few different
That's the new
animated.
52 version.
Oh, that's what.
Yeah,
Yeah, what was
it
it?
was
Justice
okay.
League.
That's the one where
Uh,
they show him in his actual suit, his hibernation suit. That's actually
right.
that reminds me. They actually that's how they kept him contained. They put him to sleep. That suit put him to sleep.
Yeah,
The
and
thing is that the
then
containment field was damaged when he was when there was an earthquake. I think that's what brought him back up.
but that was Justice League War.
Yeah,
Like when they came out those movies,
yeah,
right?
yeah. That's the new 52s. Yeah,
Okay, that's where like where Green Lanterns. You're not just a guy in a bat suit and Batman takes his ring.
yeah. But yeah, definitely check it out. It's a
Yeah,
good
way
one.
better than Batman, Superman, Dawn of
Oh
Justice.
my god! Don't remind me of that one. Um,
So many glaring potholes.
yeah.
plot,
Jen, did you
plot
want to
holes.
talk about your topic, or should I go first?
Yeah, go first.
Okay, so the one I wanted to talk about, and Jen and I actually were talking about this earlier, and brought out a good point. Are slasher movies making a comeback? And I'm not talking about like the dark ones where it's suspenseful and you're worried for the protagonist. I'm talking about the ones that are funny as hell, but still very intriguing. and make a good character just come out and just start slashing people up, but at the same time you're rooting for them because you want the guy dead. Like
And we're
like
talking about Scream like.
yeah, Scream. Like ever
Oh,
since the new film Hard Ice came out,
Mm-hmm.
we've been seeing ads for these slasher flicks coming out.
wait,
One in
what movie?
Heart Ice.
Heart Eyes.
Yeah, it's
Not
a
sure what
very
that is.
funny slasher flick. It's definitely one that people should watch if
The
they like Scream.
There's.
The guy who made Scream actually made Hard
the
Ice.
executive producer that
Yeah,
produced Scream.
Ah, okay.
yeah.
The last movie I saw that was like that was what's the one with Vince Vaughn and he trades and he's a serial killer and he trades places with a
With the
high school
girl?
Oh,
girl.
totally freaky,
Yeah,
totally
Yeah,
freaky. Yeah,
that
that
was
one
like
was
that
the
one was
funny.
good too.
Yeah,
that was like the first
that was
that,
2022, I
something.
think.
Yeah, that was like the
Yeah,
first one in a while where it's like a huge comedy element to like
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
to a slasher genre.
And that's the thing with slashers. The slashers they can't be done seriously anymore because people are so desensitized that
Yeah.
even if they try to make it a serious movie, we're gonna end up laughing
Yeah.
Well,
because we're crazy like that.
I think a really good one, which I haven't finished it, which I need to find and like finish watching the movie, is a Happy Death Day.
Well,
Mm.
this is actually the second one because they made one a while back. They did make another one recently, and it's just the same premise but different elements. And then you also have the Until Dawn movie, which technically it's not a slasher flick, but it has
It's a
element.
creature feature.
It's a creature feature, but it has elements of a slasher because it technically starts as a slasher because the person who they're being chased by is a slasher, and then it turns into a creature flick. So
Mm-hmm.
in a way, that's kind of another slasher
It has
flick.
two. It has both elements.
Yeah.
Like
Really?
So the
yes,
beginning of the story of of the game because it's based on a video game.
yeah,
I
I'm
played that video game.
Yeah.
familiar with it. I know
Mhm.
there's Wendigos,
Yes,
Yeah,
those,
Wendigos. Yeah.
but
Yeah,
but
but
and
there's
the
then
beginning
also
of
a
the film,
guy that's
there's a
doing
guy
that.
who's a murderer. He has a
Mhm.
clown mask and he's trying to get them. It
okay.
just turns out to be a prank, but then
But then the real like
the
stuff
real
starts.
stuff shows up.
Well, I don't know about like if slasher films are making a comeback in that sense in the big market, I should say.
Well, there's
But like
another one coming out called Clown in the Cornfield coming out,
Mm-hmm.
and it's basically about a group of individuals being chased by a guy in a clown outfit in the
Mm-hmm.
cornfield.
Yes.
And the movie's set to release on May of this year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely another one where yeah, it's another slasher, but there's comedy to it, and there's gonna be funny scenes to
Mm-hmm.
it. It's definitely like slasher flicks are definitely making a comeback, which is weird because it's not even the season for it.
No, but I think
always
they've
the
been.
season for horror.
I think they've been trying to test the waters with different ones. Like
Probably.
here and there, and since Hard Eyes came out and they had really good reception, I think they're now encouraged to put out
Yeah,
more.
yeah. Hard Eyes
Probably.
definitely did a really good job at testing out the waters, and I
But
think people are really looking forward to another slasher flick.
Well, also maybe it has to do with like the success of like indie films like Terrifier.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's
I
another
haven't.
slasher flick too.
It is, but like it,
Mm-hmm.
like when I've watched it, it is pretty brutal, even for
Mm-hmm. That's
like
one that went a
my
little more
taste.
serious. Yeah.
Yes.
But like the first one, I haven't watched the second one, but the first one, it like there's like a lot of shock value with the gore,
Yeah.
Mm.
and
Okay.
it works because um it works because of the story of the first movie is very interpretive and it's up to the viewer of what's kind of happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And and then like I talked to John about it because he's super into horror movies like I am, and he's the one who kind of pointed that out because he saw the second one and he said that in the second one the shock value and the gore is a bit too much to the point where he had to kind of turn off the movie
Okay.
because and that's like a rare thing for someone like him because
Especially because he likes that.
Mm-hmm.
he and I
Okay.
both consume so much horror type of stuff that like it takes a lot for it to get to us, you
Yeah.
know.
So you would say that in order for be a good like slasher, there has to be a limit to how much gore or what type of gore.
Yes, because he said that in the second movie, they're trying to tell a more of a they're trying to tell more of a story in the second film, and then the
Mhm.
gore and the shock value just doesn't fit. And I agree with him. Like when you're
Okay.
watching, it doesn't like whether the shock value is or whatever you're using for your shock value
Mhm.
doesn't always fit depending on the story you're telling.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's definitely more slasher flicks coming out this year. Megan 2 is coming out.
Mhm.
There's
Is
word
that a slasher
that
film?
is a slasher. It's a sci-fi slasher, but it's still a slasher.
I didn't
Um,
watch the first one
it was
I
pretty good.
did.
because
It was okay. That is
I,
fine.
Yeah.
this is my whole reason for not watching it. I saw Child's Play, the one where they remade it with Mark Hamill. I'm like, oh great, it's just a killer robot doll.
Yeah.
There's
Mhm.
nothing exciting about that, and that movie is really boring. And
Hmm.
then I saw the trailer for Megan, and I'm like, I've been down this road. I don't need to go down it again. No, thank you. But
Yeah.
then, like, for everyone who's watched it, they say it's pretty good, and maybe I should give it a chance.
Yeah, it's
But
pretty good. I mean, it's not, groundbreaking. And that's the beauty of slashers. They're not aiming to be like, a number one hit or an award-winning movie.
Mhm.
They're out there to either shock value like you said or just to make you laugh, and they're doing a great job about that.
Yeah, like that's why I like slashers. That's the reason because they're mixing the genres up together.
Mhm.
It's not like super serious horror or whatever.
Yeah.
They're mixing up. It's the fact that they're mixing different genres and it's working.
Yeah, like Hard Eyes, that was a slasher rom-com,
Yep.
which is something I don't think we've seen in
Yeah.
a
Heart
slasher film.
Eyes,
Yeah.
Heart
Hard eyes.
Eyes, yeah, like heart, like your
You
heart.
definitely need to watch it, Matt, because
It's
it does
funny as
have your
hell,
gore
dude.
in there, but it's tasteful.
Yeah, the gore that they have is not only tasteful, is well done. Like
Yes.
the kills
And it
that he
fits, like you
performs in.
said, it fits the moments. It fits
Mhm.
the storyline.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
it's
then
still in theaters.
there's
Yes.
also words that they might do either a reboot of I Know What You Did Last Summer
Hmm.
or a
We don't.
continuation of the series.
I don't think they should.
Yeah.
No, those
And then of
movies.
course there's
I
talks that they want to do another Scream. So
I think the Scream franchise should just kind of.
oh yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Like one thing a lot of people says like if you're gonna do Scream, have Nev Campbell die.
Yeah.
Her
Okay.
character finally die,
Hmm.
and then have a new cast take over, which they kind of try to do with this new trilogy. It just didn't do well.
Hmm.
They didn't
Well,
do it well.
maybe they could do it like how they did with Halloween. You remember how they came out with Halloween
Yeah,
2018,
yeah,
and that was like the start of the retcon for everything.
yeah,
And like, I really liked that movie. The second one was okay. The third one and the final movie of like the actual timeline for
yeah.
Halloween, it
Where she finally
was
kills him.
yeah, where she finally kills him. Like, I like how they ended it. They ended it good,
Hmm.
but there's also like some poor parts of the movie where I'm like, this
They weren't necessary,
it wasn't that. It's just like I just felt like it. I just felt like it
or that it
was
dragged on too long.
yeah, it dragged on too much. It wasn't as good.
Hmm.
Like 2018 was really good.
Yeah, I liked it,
I
especially
Is
the
that the
scene.
one where they get together
The
and
townspeople try to take him down, try to take Michael down, and
which one is that one?
That's the second one.
Okay.
okay,
Yeah, that's the second one. No, the first, like the 2018, he's at the insane asylum and he
oh yeah,
escapes,
Uh-huh.
and then he started to make his killings in
the
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 town
origin
again.
story, yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, but and then like Jamie Lee Curtis, like, oh shit, he's back,
Mhm.
and then in the second one, it's just a continuation from 2018, and
yeah,
that one was like a little like questionable, especially like when the
I liked it.
townspeople get.
For
Hmm.
Yeah, no, from my perspective though, like I think that's where it should have ended. It should have
Hmm.
ended where like it didn't need to be a long movie. It could have just been the townspeople fighting. You know what? Well, we had enough of you. Keep coming back. We're just gonna all try our methods and that be done with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
but
was a
yeah,
great way to. They should have
but
ended it right there.
yeah, but I agree with Jen because in and like in this trilogy, in this like because it ends at like you have the first movie, then it's 2018, and then the other two movies.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if there's a word for that. Like a quadrilogy,
a quadrilogy,
quadrilogy, or whatever however you say it. Like
trilogy.
I
he,
don't think it needed that many though.
Michael Myers a is a human being. Is
Mhm.
he like really strong and aggressive? Yes, he's a big fella. He's really strong. He can
Mhm.
pick average people up by their neck and stuff.
Mhm.
But he's still a human. So when the townspeople started beating the shit out of him, I don't care how big and tough you are. If you have like 10
Mhm.
baseball bats smashing
Mm-hmm.
your face and you're not going to just get up and start stabbing people like he
Exactly.
did
Yeah,
in the
Exactly.
second
that
film.
should have been the way to end it right
But
there.
Yeah.
also, we forget that Michael Myers is very smart.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's remember he had a decoy
Mm-hmm.
multiple
Oh, yeah.
times. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
Because what serial killers are usually very smart.
Yeah, they are. But regardless, like I think this year we're gonna see a lot more slasher flicks.
Looking forward
There's
to
some
it.
indie ones coming out as well that were announced. There's one called Wound Open. Um, I don't know what it's about yet, but it looks promising. And then there's another film called The Gorge. So
Oh, that's the one with the dude who um he was Mr. Fantastic.
yeah, he
Mhm.
was Mr. Fantastic.
He was also the drummer in Whiplash, something Miles Taylor.
Miles Teller, yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. Wait, is that his name? Miles Taylor?
Miles Teller, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
But either way,
Yes.
this year I think we might see a lot of slasher flicks or just like um different kind of horror flicks. There's another one called Fear Street Prom Queen. It's part of that little
Oh,
mini
dude.
Oh,
series.
Fear Street is
Yeah.
really
Hmm.
good.
You've read the
Like,
books?
Yeah,
no, I watched the movies on
I
Netflix.
haven't
Yes.
really went through all the movies, but dude, try
Yeah.
reading the books.
yeah,
The
Okay.
books are really, really good.
yeah.
And I'm not exaggerating.
But
They're really
that's
good.
what I'm saying. Like Jen like pointed it out today, and she's right. I think slasher flicks are gonna be pretty prominent this year, and it's gonna be fun because, like I said, these films are not trying to be. They're
No.
not trying to stand out. They're not trying to be the number one. They're not trying to win any awards. They're
No.
just there to make you laugh,
Hmm.
make you think, and make you root for the
Hmm.
protagonist. But at the same time, kind of like add a little shock value.
I I do like the fact that they continue try to different genres, to try
Yeah,
mix them with different genres because I think
yeah.
so far it's working.
Like even though a lot of people can say that the genre's gone stale,
Hmm.
they've clearly thought of new ways to try to keep it alive.
Hmm.
So that is definitely gonna be fun to see. I definitely gonna watch a couple of them. Yeah.
So because I like it because I can turn my brain off. I just like
Hmm.
watching.
Plus, you turn into one of those people
Yeah.
just yelling at the screen. Don't go in there. Like, what are you doing? Oh, she deserved to die. Her top was off.
One more thing about on the subject. I think they should bring back Urban Legend. I feel like it's
Oh yeah,
a
that's
forgotten
a that's a
franchise.
pretty good franchise from back in the day. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing oh my goodness, what was it called? It's an old slasher flick. Came out a while ago. I
Hmm.
want to say no, it's not I Spit on Your Grave. Although that's a good franchise too. Um oh my god. Which is the one that is like I Know What You Did but is a different one. It's like I Know What You Did Last Summer but it's another one.
I
Like
still know what you did last summer
like they
because
kind
that's
of
the
No, that's part
sequel.
of that's the yeah that's the and
like
I
they
will always know.
they
Is it-
copied that formula, but it was a
Do
different.
you remember actor wise who was in
No,
it
I don't remember.
or
It was an old
what
film,
or what it was about?
but
Are
they
you
would
sure you're
always
not thinking about Urban Legend?
it might be
You might
then.
be
Yeah.
confusing
Because if
them.
it's similar to that one, then it's probably that one. It's where, like it's the typical story. Teens accidentally kill somebody, and that person comes
Wait,
back,
would
kills them.
Jawbreaker be considered that?
I think so, yeah.
Wait, Outbreak?
No,
Jawbreaker.
Jawbreaker.
Mm-hmm.
With the
Jawbreaker?
group of girls, they kill another
Yeah,
girl. With exactly like with the job
with a Jawbreaker, yeah.
with the candy,
I,
the Jawbreaker
And
candy.
you
yeah.
never see Watch Jawbreaker. It's funny as hell.
Yeah.
Or Matt, that one the hillbilly chainsaw movie you showed us that one time.
Oh,
Dale
I mean,
and
Tail, Tail, and. I need to look at the title.
That would be another good one to get revamped.
But yeah, see, because
Oh, Tucker
it's
and Dale versus Evil.
Yeah,
because that's also what with comedy and
yeah. It's
slapstick
It's
comedy
a
and
and
it's a horror comedy.
yeah.
It's
See,
yeah.
definitely that. More
see,
comedy though.
see what I mean?
It's just that I think everybody's so
I think
desensitized
yeah.
that stuff like that doesn't really scare them anymore.
Oh, it's because they try to put a lot of jump scares
Like
and it's
90% of the time, I end up laughing, even when they are trying to be serious. But that's me. But then again,
we were laughing a lot in the theater, that's for sure,
uh,
and people were looking at us a little weird.
everybody was laughing in the theater, especially one particular scene where some guy just responded
Yeah,
and everybody laughed at him.
yeah, because he was like, "Oh, come on!" Like,
Okay, yeah, because the scene was so BS that it's like, oh come on.
but that's what they were going for. You see, I mean, they're
Yeah,
doing these things
everybody just turns
intentionally.
into a ghetto person and starts talking at the screen when
Yeah,
the
that's
person's kind of
those I like. Fire slashers are
yeah,
the
they're always fun, especially the dialogue. Dialogue's always
yeah.
fun. These muscles were meant are
when
meant for
the
cuddling.
when the
By the way, folks, Jen and I did a quick 3 minute review on Hard Eyes. Check it out; it's on the channel.
gosh.
All right, Jen, what did you want to talk about?
Well,
And
since next month is the Oscars, 97th Oscars.
damn, 97.
Yeah,
You Oscar.
yeah. Next month they're gonna have the 97th annual Oscars. I guess it's
Damn,
already 97.
almost 100
But
years.
dude, like I was thinking today, like there has been many actors that I think and actresses that deserve an Oscar that haven't won any. Like, and I'm talking about like people like Glenn Close, freaking Ralph Fiennes, and I'm just really happy to know that Demi Moore's actually nominated for one
Oh yeah,
for
the
The Substance.
substance.
Yeah,
That was a good movie.
that
Watch
was a
that, by the way,
really
folks.
good movie.
Yeah.
And I think it's a high time. Like, I don't know how did they decide to when somebody wins? Like, do you need to?
Well, from what I've read, the actor or actress has to campaign on their behalf, and they basically have to advertise why they feel they should win. And the Actors Guild or whoever's in charge of running the Oscars, basically they vote on whether or not they should be either nominated or win.
That's
Because
dumb.
yeah, I mean it's the same way with the Hollywood Stars of Fame. You have to pay for it. You even have to pay maintenance on it.
I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, what?
And
I'm like, what happened to it? Your own merit,
yeah,
like,
the skills and
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I thought the Oscars, that's what it was about, like on your, like your
Well,
own
I think
merits.
the Oscars, like much like the music awards and
they
like
have to do
now.
that too. They have to
No,
campaign.
but no, but even in like gaming now, like
Mm-hmm.
what gets like best game of the year for whatever, right? And like what is the best song for this genre or whatever the music awards are, right? I think it's all like I think it's really come down to like what sells and what doesn't sell, who's popular, who's not popular.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I don't think like a okay, so let me think of a good example. I don't think like a up and coming actor. Let's say they do a role of a lifetime, and like every aspect of the movie is perfect. Like
Mm-hmm.
person's acting, the cinematography, the editing, the sound, everything about it is top
Secondary
notch.
characters
Yes, the secondary
or supporting actors. I
characters.
mean,
Yeah, like everything is just top notch and it's done really well, but it's all an independent film. Okay,
mm-hmm.
and let's say you got Dwayne the Rock Johnson coming out with another blockbuster.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is gonna win?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
There is a
like
bit of a bias.
there's a huge bias.
Mm-hmm.
And I like I think it used to be like people like especially like movies from like the 40s and 50s and stuff like that, where people actually had to act and had to be good at their job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying there's people like that now, but I think it did start in a place where when these awards and stuff did start, it was based on someone's merit and their skill
Mm-hmm.
and their time and their effort and what they did for the production companies.
Yeah, but there's
Because
there's even been actors who who were acting during those times that still haven't won an Oscar. Ian
That's
McKellen.
true.
Ian McKellen hasn't won an Oscar, and that man's a thespian.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ed Harris hasn't won an Oscar.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how's
Ed Harris hasn't won an Oscar.
He has not.
nope.
Neither has Liam Neeson, by the way, or Sigourney Weaver.
Mm-hmm.
No, Liam Neeson isn't that great of an actor.
Schindler's List, dude.
Okay, wait. Did Schindler's List win like a bunch of awards?
Yeah, but
Yep,
he
but
didn't
the
win.
actor didn't win.
Yeah, he was nominated,
Okay.
but he didn't win.
See, he was at least nominated.
Movies can
Yeah.
win Oscars, and when movies have won Oscars,
But I'm talking about the actors
themselves have not.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, like, but like Liam Neeson versus Leonardo DiCaprio, like, come on.
Yeah, but Leo finally won an
Okay,
Oscar. Like,
but what
did.
about?
and look how long it took him.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying though. Like, I mean, yeah, it sucks that Liam Neeson didn't win. He should have won something for Schindler's List. But
Mhm.
like, if you look at the rest of his repertoire, I'm not saying he's like the world's worst actor, but he's also not he's no Al Pacino. He's not Leonardo DiCaprio. He's not. I don't know. Fucking Helen Hunt. Her.
I don't think Helen Hunt's won an Oscar either.
No.
No, she hasn't.
No, she
Neither has
has.
Samuel L. Jackson.
No, Sam Jackson hasn't won.
I think that man deserves an Oscar just because he's in everything.
Yeah.
Then he should just give Nick Cage an Oscar because he's in everything.
I think he has won an Oscar.
Has he?
Yeah. Give me a second. I can look this up right now.
That's what I wanted to know. I'm like, has Nick ever won one?
Let's see. He won an Oscar. He won
Yeah.
Best Actor in 1996 and then in 2003. He
What?
didn't win it for any movie. He won it just for being an actor.
Oh, well, then there you go. So why can't they give that to like people like Glenn Close and freaking Ian
Who the
McKellen?
hell is Glenn Close?
Glenn Close from Cruella de Vil, right?
Yeah.
She was
Yes,
Cruella.
it's
de Vil.
Cruella de Vil. Mhm.
I have no idea who that is.
The Devil Wears Prada, right?
No,
that's,
that's
Meryl Streep. Oh, Stepford Wives, Matt.
Don't
With
remember Stepford
Nicole
Wives.
Kidman. Regardless, she's like a very
And with
prominent
the-
actress.
with Fatal Attraction.
Oh yeah, Fatal Attraction. She wasn't.
Gosh, I was blanking out so much. And Hook.
Well, technically, only those who know she was in it know she was in that. But regardless, there is a lot of actors and actresses that haven't won Oscars who are actually deserving of it, and it is weird that they haven't. You know, it's just one of those things that you wonder like why, but then when you look into it, it's kind of sad to see why. So it's one of those things you're like, oh, really? That's why. Which
Well, also Hollywood has been in a lot of trouble over the last few years for a lot of
Hollywood is just fickle in general.
heinous
Yeah,
depravity.
yeah.
So maybe these people that we think deserve some Oscars and
Yeah.
awards probably really don't.
Well, I mean, if you dig deep enough, I don't think any of them are deserving. But regardless, a lot of these actors have done insanely good roles, and even if the rest of their career hasn't been as great, that you think that role would have been enough to get them the award.
I think, in all honesty, it takes you more than just like one film.
Well, it
I
only
think-
took one film for Leo to finally get it, and it wasn't even that good of a film.
Revenant.
Now,
Yeah, The Remnant. It
Revenant.
wasn't even that good.
that's your opinion.
You've seen it? Have you seen it?
I have, and it's a great film, so be quiet.
Yeah, it is a great film, but it's not. I didn't think it was Oscar worthy.
Yeah, it was.
Do you
No.
think that was his?
Well,
best
also, like,
performance?
okay,
I
Leo
think-
has done things
I
like
think
The
Togo was
Aviator.
an Oscar worthy
Okay,
film.
but Leo has done things like The Aviator, Titanic.
Yeah, and he didn't win any of that. So
The-
why didn't
The
those
Wolf of
win? But
Wall
Remnant
Street.
did.
But what I'm saying is that Leo has a pedigree of films behind him of where he does an amazing job, and it's just I think Hollywood just finally felt the pressure. Like, all right,
Right? Everyone
we'll
was
just
on
give
his
him one.
ass. Yeah, everyone was on his ass. But then the same can be said about like I don't know Michelle Pfeiffer. She has a pretty good repertoire, and she's never won an Oscar. And
Uh,
neither has Sigourney Weaver, and she has a
well,
pretty good repertoire too. Hell, dude,
maybe
Tom Cruise hasn't won an Oscar. Did you know that?
does Tom Cruise need to win an Oscar?
No, but you think after all the crazy stunts he's
All
done,
your
you think they would
Mission
have just given
Impossible.
him out of default?
First of all, excuse me. First of all, Jackie Chan did it first,
No, I'm saying, but like he's
doing
done
all his
pretty
own
like
crazy
Jackie Chan.
stunts.
Jackie has gone on record to praise him for his stunt work, right? Jackie has gone on record to say that he's probably
Okay,
a better or is as good a stuntman as he was because for
Jackie
one,
only says that because he's a nice guy and he's humble.
no, and part of the reason Jackie said that is because Tom has done all these stunts
Yeah.
and maintained his injuries to a low. So that's why he applauds his skill because he's done these insane stunts, but he's managed to stay uninjured. Well, not completely uninjured, but minimally injured. Because Tom
Yeah,
has gotten injured on some of his stunts, just not that bad. Like he separated his shoulder here and there. He's gotten cuts and bruises here and there. I think he fractured bones here and there. But compared to Jackie, where he's broken every bone twice on his
Wow.
body, part of the reason Jackie has praised Tom for his stunt work is because he's very methodical about it, very precise about it, and he's good at it too.
yeah,
And
but
as
also
and as
unlike
crazy as
Jackie
a he's
Chan,
pushing 50.
yeah, but unlike Jackie Chan, where Jackie Chan was using minimum to no safety equipment,
Yeah, that's true.
Tom Cruise had all of Hollywood backing him and gave him safety harnesses and made sure everything is going to go good. So that way, Tom
You know
Cruise
the
doesn't
scene where
die.
he's climbing the spire in India. There was no safety harness in that one, right? He was hang and the scene where he's climbing the rock face. There was no safety harness in that either.
I doubt that.
No, there wasn't. They show footage of him like just hanging there from one hand, like the crazy spider monkey that he is.
I'm going to do some deep dive research on that
Go for it.
because,
Regardless, yeah, there's lots of deserving actors and actresses that probably should have won an Oscar by now. Where you've seen some actors win like five or more, then you're like, why? Like,
Meryl
why did
Streep.
this? Yeah, like Meryl Streep. I mean, well, Meryl Streep is one of the few that's like, okay, I can understand why she won so many.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But how about you guys? Do you think there's an actor, specific actor or actress that should win one by now?
honestly, I don't know. I haven't been paying that close attention.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. Give one to Tom Holland. And not because of Spider-Man, but because what that movie he did, The Devil's with You all the time, or something like that.
Oh yeah, I haven't
That
seen it
was,
yet, but I heard it was good.
it's a really good movie. It was a very different take from him being Spider-Man and stuff. It's
That's good.
definitely a
It,
much more serious movie.
is that
Nice.
the one where he's like a serial killer or
He's
something?
not a serial killer, believe it or not, but just watch the movie and
Okay.
you'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was
It's
one, I don't know if it's that one or what it was, but there was one that made him take a break from acting because that role was very, very, uh,
Dark.
yeah.
yeah, that was probably the film.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
because he's not a serial killer or anything, but is the movie's definitely like more of a thriller
Mhm.
and like it's a drama thriller, and
Okay.
it was
Mm-hmm.
so like there's like no serial killers or in it or anything, but the way they advertise the movie, they kind of make it seem that way. But there's some events in that movie where you're like, whoa,
Mhm.
Yeah,
it's
but
just it's just, or you know what, fuck it. Give one to Woody Harrelson for his role in Natural Born Killers.
oh yeah, that would have been a good one. But yeah, I mean, yeah, well, I mean, Only time will tell. Hopefully, they don't get overlooked before they die.
I know. They always want to give him awards when they're already dead.
Yeah, Heath Ledger won like 3 awards for The Dark Knight. So,
I know.
so that was kind of disappointing.
I know.
But that's gonna do it for this episode, folks. As always, please remember hit the like button and subscribe if you're on our channel. If you're on Spotify, like, comment, and give us a follow. You can always reach us on Instagram. You can also follow us on our perspective social medias. Links are on the channel. As as always, make sure to check out Maono for any podcast equipment. They do have a contest going on right now, but you do have to own some of the mics that they have listed. You can do a short minute video to try to qualify. If you don't have the mic, you can always buy it, and if you use code word media buff, you get 10% off the purchase. So definitely check that out. And as always, we will talk to you next time. Everybody said, "Bleh."
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful time.